All right,
Okay.
wow.
Okay. So
Way to
now
go,
this
Drew.
this is the show now. Apparently,
This is
I missed that too. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is
Mhm.
welcome to the first day of the rest of our lives.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
This is our
Mhm.
first time recording without Skype.
Yes. Yes. It's a big deal. Oh shit! I'm not even. Oh, God damn it! I'm not recording. Okay. No, okay. I'm all kinds of messed up today. Okay. There we go. Now I'm out. Now I'm recording actually my side of the microphone. So
Okay,
and
yeah,
in the browser. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm
muscle
dumb.
memory got me through Audacity, so we're good there.
Oh.
Okay, so before we
Mhm.
get into our stuff tonight,
Mhm.
Eric Darling might be joining us? Question mark.
Okay.
I told him that this would be a good pressure test of this if we can
Mhm.
invite him like mid
Okay.
mid thing,
Okay.
but he hasn't replied to me, so
Okay.
we'll roll with
Okay.
it. And if he
We'll see
shows
how it
up,
goes. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Which we can always try it again or get someone else. Yeah. Yeah. But in theory, I can invite as many people as I want. I don't know.
yeah, and we have
Yeah.
live chat. Like this
I
is
know. Uh huh. Yeah.
hot Bitcoin girls in my
Yeah.
area.
I do thank you for that because I did miss all the Bitcoin bros on Skype when I launched that once a week. So thank you.
Oh, and then you got a
It
link
feels
to the
yeah,
you got a link
yeah.
to the call notes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
I'm just trying how this whole thing works. So yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
it's fine. This is the show
yeah,
now. This is
yeah,
we explore new technology.
yeah. And it's all on a browser. It's amazing. What a country.
Wow. I don't have to install Skype anymore.
Yeah, dude. It's if this works well, the first thing I'm doing is uninstalling Skype, right in the garbage.
Yep. I don't know if I can I'm assuming I can totally uninstall that from my thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is. It's. I mean, it served us well for 276 episodes.
We've really got a lot out of it, though.
We sure did.
We certainly
Yeah.
got our money's worth. Did
Uh-huh.
you ever pay money for Skype?
No.
Okay.
No, not
I
once. Not
never
once.
made a legitimate phone call on Skype.
No, me either. No.
So the last order of business before we get going on
Okay.
topics.
Mhm.
I'm going to do an ad read.
Okay.
So you just hang out. You don't have to
All right.
you don't have to be
Okay.
part of this. Okay.
Okay. I'll mute. Look at me.
Okay. Ooh, how do you do that?
I did it on my audio interface. I got a button that makes me mute.
Okay.
I don't think maybe hold on.
For the record, you can do it if you click the icon of the microphone on the levels.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. CMT Components is an Ohio-based manufacturing company specializing in roof trusses, metal roofing and siding, and complete pole barn kits. Whether they have what you need in stock or with build to order in 2 weeks or less, with job site and home delivery via their fleet of flatbed trucks, they have you covered for all of your prefabrication and pole barn needs. Sorry. This family-owned business will do everything to go above and beyond to be your one-stop shop for your specialized building materials. You can find out more at cmtcomponents.com or give them a call at 937-446-3400. That's 937-446-3400. And don't hesitate to stop in person if you're near their Sardinia, Ohio headquarters. CMT, Destination Excellence.
That was a legitimate ad read.
It was a legitimate ad read. And the reason I did that because apparently I bought $7,500 worth of barn materials.
I saw that on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So here's the miracle of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting here working yesterday, and I had my phone here, and I use my Amex card for a lot of stuff. Like that's my primary method of buying things. So I'm sitting there and I see the little toast notification pop up on my phone. And it's like, American Express. And it was like $7,490. And I'm like, and I thought to myself, I was like, I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, that seems high. And
yes.
Also not you. So yeah.
Also not me. Yeah. Well, and it just said CMT. That's all it said. It just said CMT on it. And I opened the app and I'm scrolling through it, and the Amex app is nice because when you click on a purchase details, it actually gives you the merchant information and where the sale was made. So it gave me like the phone number of the merchant, the website of the merchant. It showed a little map, which was on Sardinia, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this is clearly not something that I bought. So
Right,
then
right.
your mind goes to a million different places. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
obviously my credit card information was stolen somehow. And
Yep.
I have a conspiracy theory about that I'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
So I'm like, shit. I called the number and
Oh, you called CMT, you didn't call MX first?
no, I called CMT first.
Okay.
Because it literally just happened. And I'm like, well, I don't want them to get screwed out of like mailing or shipping something out illegally or
Yeah.
ill-gotten gains, right?
Okay.
So I called them and I'm like, hey, I don't know if you just took an order from an American Express card, but I think someone has my credit card. I didn't order that. And the woman on the phone was like, oh, I just got off the phone with somebody. It must have been fraud. And I'm like, yeah, it must have been.
It seems like it.
It seems likely because I don't have any need for your products, although I'm sure you're a wonderful company.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, okay, hold on one second. I'm going to transfer you to accounting. So they put me on hold, was on hold for like a minute. She gets back with me and she's like, hey, I'm so sorry. They're tied up with something right now. Let me get your number. They're going to call you back immediately. I'm like, cool. So I gave my number and they're like, they'll call you back as soon as they can. We promise. And I'm like, that's fine. Just, whatever that order was, just cancel it. Don't ship anything. Like it's clearly fraud. And they're like, yep, we got it. So then I called American Express and I'm like, hey, clearly my card information has been compromised. And they ask you a bunch of questions like, did you share your card info? No, I didn't. Okay. Did you,
is this your fault somehow?
Right. Blame the victim. It's always the boldest of strategies. So she's like, well, no problem, Mr. Fergewell. We'll send you out a brand new card. Like they literally overnighted it. I got it today. And what was here's the really wild part about all of this is I have my Amex linked to my Apple Pay. So a lot of times when I go to like get gas or go to a restaurant or whatever, I usually just use tap to pay, and I usually just use my phone.
Yeah, it's convenient. Yeah,
very, very convenient.
Yeah.
As soon as they issued me a new card, it automatically updated my Apple Pay.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Like instantly. I didn't have to do a thing. It got the new card number. I got a notification from Apple Wallet that my Amex information's been updated. I don't know how. Because like I always thought that when you get a new credit card, you have to activate it.
Yeah.
So that must just be tied to your account somehow through Apple Pay and not to the card itself. Maybe it's linked to American Express differently. I don't know.
Like, I wonder if they know whether it's like a physical card transaction or like a digital transaction, and the activating turns on the physical card or something.
Yeah, could be. Now, I still had to go through today. I still had to activate my card, which you activate it through the app. It was super easy once I confirmed delivery of it. I had to like update PayPal and a couple other online things that I use for recurring credit card payments. Totally not a big deal. But the accounting department never called me back.
Uh-oh.
And actually here, I'm going to look now. Let me look at my Amex thing and see, did it go through? Let's see. Okay. It still shows pending from them. So I'm hoping it falls off, but anyway, they did call me back first thing this morning, like super bright and early. I was literally on my way from the bathroom because I just did my morning ablutions. And I was like on my way to the kitchen to make coffee when they called me. So they're like, hey, you called yesterday about a fraudulent credit card transaction. She's like, just to confirm, can you give me the dollar amount? I opened my app and I'm like, this is the amount. She goes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and issue you a refund. She gave me her info and she's like, give it a little time. If it doesn't fall off by tomorrow, give me a call. And she left me her number. Her name was Misty. She was very nice to talk to.
Misty.
But hasn't fallen off yet. And American Express, I asked them like, hey, do I need to file a police report to contest these charges or anything? And they're like, look, the most straightforward way to do this, reach out to the merchant. It's not their fault. It's not your fault. If they can cancel the order and you get a refund, that's the straightest, happiest path to do this. But they're like, if they can't do it or it's already gone through and it shows up in your statement, then we can contest it. They're like, no, you don't need to do a police report or anything. Just, it helps, but don't worry about it. We got you covered. That was kind of cool. So I think it's really neat that we live in a society now where when this kind of stuff happens, it's not like a surprise on your credit card statement 30 days later.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's out there
Yeah.
building pole barns.
Yeah, dude, I have push notifications for my credit cards on as well, and that has saved my butt a couple of times because you're like,
Mhm.
huh, I'm pretty sure I didn't just make a $1,500 purchase at Best Buy.
Right. Right.
Huh.
Now here's the thing.
Mhm.
I described, I really don't use my physical card very much.
Yeah.
The only times I really use my physical card anywhere on any type of insertion or swipe is if there is no touch to pay. I have fully embraced that lifestyle. I love using that at gas stations or
Yeah.
restaurant. Like, I really only ever hand my card over anywhere at a restaurant. That's it.
Yeah. 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 Even then, if you ask, though, most of them will bring over a thing for you to tap.
A lot of restaurants are adopting that now.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because every time I've gone to Europe, that's how they do it. They bring the machine to you, you do it, and you hand the thing back.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started thinking, oh, and there's one other critical piece of information for this. I had my card replaced earlier this year.
Okay.
Because tap to pay wasn't working. So I called American Express, and this was back in like January. And I said, hey, can I get a new card? Because tap to pay doesn't work. And they're like, sure. Again, and these are like the chunky metal cards. I'm sure it's not easy for them to make them, but they had it printed and stickered and sent to me overnight. It
Nice.
to no cost to me. So hats off American Express. Now, granted, I pay like a crazy yearly fee, but we're not going to talk about that. So this card number with this expiration date and this security code is only 4 months old.
Okay. Oh, so, yeah. Then do you use it for like online stuff too? So now do you have to do that dance of like remembering every place that you've set up like some sort of auto pay or
I
subscription?
really don't.
And have to, okay, good.
I
Okay.
do use it for online purchases if PayPal isn't an option. And the other thing to keep in mind too is that a lot of merchants don't take American Express. It's getting better.
Yeah.
So that's why I tend to always fall back to PayPal as my main method. And that card is my primary pay method for PayPal. Like, I can pay it right out of my bank account, like if I want to send somebody money or something. But that card is usually my primary way that I pay for things. And more often than not, I just go through PayPal because I don't want these places like accidentally saving my credit card info or any of that type of shit. All right. So I've only had this card for 4 months. And I'm thinking to myself, like, where have I used it that it would be questionable?
Right.
I did stop at a gas station on the way home from Chicago on my trip. That was pretty sus. Now I paid for gas at the pump.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I'm pretty keyed in on looking for skimmers or anything like that. I didn't see anything at the pump. Paid for my gas. Went inside, bought an energy drink, and I did the card insertion at the register to do that because they didn't have tap. Mm-hmm. It was like an older credit card terminal.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of. Like maybe I missed a clue there. I don't know, because it was kind of in like the seedy upper armpit of Ohio near Fort Wayne. That's nice. Legitimately the only thing I can think of, because again, I don't save my credit card on file for payments anywhere. I usually set up recurring payments through PayPal. I really sort of racked my brain on how that would have gotten out there, but that's all I can think of. So anyway, that was my big adventure. How are you?
Dude, I am so fucking tired and everything hurts. Okay, so I mean, you know this. The place that I work, every year they have this day of service.
Yes.
Where they literally they shut down most of the company. Like, even like if you called us today, chances are you get a message saying call us tomorrow, we're all out volunteering. But you know, they do a good job because they find lots of places throughout this throughout all of the places that we have like big offices in. They find lots of places to go, and you can go online and pick what you want, and they bring you lunch, and it's very nice. They organize it very well. And it's a nice thing. And there's only one place that's even remotely close to me, and that's the Mid Ohio Food. I think it's called the Food Collective now, not the Food
Mhm.
Bank, because yeah. And so I always go there every year, and the work that I did after lunch might have been the hardest I have worked in decades.
So I volunteered.
Oh,
If it's the
oh,
place I'm thinking of, it's the big warehouse
yeah, it's a
south of
big
Columbus,
warehouse.
right?
It is. Yes, yes,
Yeah. So my
yes.
final year working with you, that's the location that I pulled. And yeah, if they put you in the warehouse sorting
Oh,
stuff,
oh,
yeah, man.
I was yeah. I got rode hard and put away wet. Uh,
I
that's the
remember
expression, right?
I
Yeah, I was. I'm so tired.
I pulled 3 different duties at that place. And I don't know if that's how they still do it, but when we showed up to volunteer, the first third of the day before lunch, I was working in the store part of the
Yeah,
place.
which no longer exists.
Oh, really?
Yes, they have. The big area is now just like receiving donations, sorting them, and distributing. They moved this food store to another building, kind of like to the northwest, I believe. Uh, yeah, so now that place just does distribution.
Hmm.
Uh, so I also worked in the store once too. But yeah, that's no longer there.
Yeah. And it was like bringing things out from the back and
Mm-hmm.
restocking or helping people reach
Yeah.
stuff because, there's some
Mm.
elderly people and some infirm that come in there and you need to help them. So that's what I did. And then the second part was stocking like the warehouse part of it. And then there's the receiving area.
Yeah.
So where did you work today?
So before lunch, we did the cold room where we
Oh,
process frozen food donations, and we got done a little early there because they were apparently they were saying like, hey, we have a new inventory management system. Everything's just going a little bit slower. Like you did everything we had. Thanks. Uh, and then after lunch, we did the I guess like it is like the receiving where like all the non like cold donations come through and everything gets looked for expiration dates. It's all the non-perishable stuff. Gets checked for expiration dates, gets cleaned, and then it gets thrown on a conveyor belt, and then gets sorted into boxes, and those boxes get stacked and then moved into the warehouse for distribution. And I have done that job before, but I had always done the first part, the checking the expiration, checking for damaged goods, cleaning everything off, and putting it on the conveyor belt. This time I did the other half, which was frantically taking things off the conveyor belt, stuffing it into boxes, weighing the boxes to make sure the boxes didn't weigh too much, putting the boxes on the pallets, repeat. And yeah, I it was a lot. It was a lot.
mm.
Very, very fast paced. Like if you like, so we were kind of like the team that I was on. We were kind of like at the end of the conveyor belt, and at the end of the conveyor belt is a little sensor that turns off the conveyor belt if you suck at what you're doing.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
To keep it. And we were determined like we are not letting this thing stop because of us.
Hell yeah. Don't let the robots win.
Exactly. So yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I am so ready for bed.
Yeah.
Oh, gonna
Yeah,
sleep
I
well
think
tonight.
I think I might have seen some LinkedIn posts today that today was the day you do
Yeah,
your thing.
yeah,
That's really cool that
yeah,
they still do that.
yeah. They still do that. It's nice, and it's not as mandatory as it was. Like
It was
when
it was it was it was very mandatory.
yeah, the wording is kind of softened, and it's like, yeah, if you're interested, here you go. But it's still strongly encouraged. Uh,
There's no
strongly
reason not to.
encouraged.
It's a day away from
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, and I still got paid for it like anything, and it's
Yeah.
nice to be able to give back once a year. And I always, coming up to it, you see it on the calendar, you're like, God damn it, I've got like shit to do. Uh, uh oh, uh
Uh-oh.
oh, uh oh. Are you still
Uh-oh.
there?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay,
here.
okay, okay. I don't know what just happened. My monitor just turned off and back on.
Oh, that's the poltergeist.
Okay, the ghosts. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ghosts
So
ghosts do that. Yeah,
that
ghosts
was
like to
weird.
play pranks on us.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. Okay,
That
okay. Still good. We're still good. Yeah, it's nice that we get to do this and give the, that they make an effort, and it's not like just like they don't do it in waves, right? Where like this department goes this
It's
day.
full fucking send.
It's everybody. Like they turn it, like we change the message on the phones. We send it. We just stop. We stop. So, of course, given what my team and what we do, I did have my laptop in my car just in case. But
yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you have sort of made it a point to do the food bank every year.
Yes, because it's close, and I'm lazy.
Right. That's what I thought. Yeah. Like like I did a couple different things. I did Restore. I did the place up north of Columbus, almost outside of Delaware. The day camp for kids with disabilities. I forget what it's called. That was a cool one where we were building furniture and restocking some of the dorms and stuff. That was a cool one. And working outside a bit. That was pretty fun. Oh man, I can't remember. Adventure something. Shoot. I'm gonna have to Google. I'll Google it whenever we get a minute here. But that was a cool one too. So that's cool. You still get to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about something that directly impacts you.
Fuck. Yeah. So we had kind of talked about the tariffs and all that stuff, and it's happening. The tariffs are now directly impacting one of my hobbies, and that's needlessly spending money on handheld gaming handhelds. The first one I had seen I saw an article on The Verge that Anbernic, the company that makes a lot of handheld devices, they are now stopping shipments to the United States. They do have a warehouse where they've been stocking stuff, so you can still order things from Anbernic as long as it's in the United States warehouse. But that means all of their new devices, and once that warehouse is empty, it is no more. They are done. They are no longer shipping to the United States. And then I also saw that Ein, the maker of the Odin handhelds like the Portal and the Odin 2 and more high-end handhelds, as doing the same thing. They do not have a U.S. warehouse, so they're just done. They're just done. Oh, May 5th. May 5th will be the last day. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wait, hold on. Nope. They're shipping to the United States until April 25th. Yeah. They're hoping to find a new way to get the deliveries to the United States, but which I guess is technically smuggling.
Yeah. Right.
But, yeah.
Probably not great.
I also saw something about like DHL, which does a lot of these over international shipments, are no longer doing shipments under $800 to internationally. So yeah, it's Big Daddy Business is really helping us.
Yeah,
so,
President Business is doing so good. President Deals is doing so good for us.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, this sucks, but this might be good news. This might be a blessing in disguise for you, because I'm worried about you and your handheld.
I mean, I'm not in the market to buy anything. Let's be honest. I'm still very happy with my, Ally X and my Retroid Pocket 2. It's great. Both great devices. Love them very much. But, it kind of just sucks to know like the next thing that comes out, I may not be able to get it. Or like, there's the next the chips that like all like these like the Legion Go and the ROG Ally X, the next version of those Zen processors is supposed to be coming out soon. So there's supposed to be a new line of gaming handhelds coming out, quote unquote, soon. And now it's just like, okay, like what is that going to look like? Am I going to spend twice as much on those? Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah, no, it really sucks, man. It really sucks. There's still a lot of uncertainty. I did see that now he's trying to back down on some of these tariffs, and China's like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've realized that it's all just noise, and eventually all of his billionaire friends start losing money and he backs down, and all they have to do is just wait him out.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been really anything. There have been a couple hobby adjacent things that I was looking at that have become harder to get.
Yeah.
They seem sold out because I think everybody is sort of rushing to buy stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. I did get my Switch 2 pre-ordered, so there's that. But
oh, okay, yes, thank you. Oh my
mm-hmm.
god, I wanted to add that because I was watching in real time the chaos of the Switch 2 orders.
Yeah, what I decided to do is I set my alarm for a little bit before midnight because that's when like Target, Best Buy, and Walmart were going to go on sale. And I told myself, I said, "Self, I'm going to give you to 12:15. If you can get a Switch by 12:15, great, you're a hero. Everyone's going to love you. If you can't get a Switch by 12:15, you're going to close your laptop and you're going to go back to bed." Because I basically just sat up in bed, grabbed my laptop, opened it up, and started hitting refresh.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure whatever service on the back end that Target uses to validate your addresses was just getting absolutely obliterated. And it took a few refreshes to get checked out in the cart. But then again, because I had push notifications turned on, I saw the, hey, Target charged my credit card. And then about 30 seconds later, the spinner stopped and it's like, hey, order confirmed. I'm like, good, bedtime. And it took about maybe 5 minutes to get through the process. Target was the only site. I guess I was in a virtual line in Walmart. And Best Buy, apparently they had an oopsie and their pre-sales didn't actually start till like 12:30 or 12:35 or so. But yeah, I got my order in. So woo.
Nice. Okay, so break it down for me. Break it down for me. What'd you get?
So I decided. So there's two bundles. Obviously, there's the regular bundle, and there was the bundle that also included Mario Kart World. What I did some algebra in my head, and I assume most people were going to be going after the Mario Kart World bundle. So I'm like, you know what?
Look at you.
Like, I do want that game, but in the end of the day, I can spend $30 more and get the game separately. So I just went for the standard no game included bundle. I was allowed to buy 2 Pro controllers, so I did buy 2 Pro controllers. So that was the order I did last night, and then I figured there'd be no rush on the game. So this morning, while I was eating my Cheerios, I ordered Mario Kart World, whatever it's called. Yeah, Mario Kart World. I ordered that separately. So
okay, now what's in the bundle again?
It just has the Switch 2 and 2 Joy-Cons.
Oh, so you didn't get the camera, you didn't get the dock.
No. This is the dock that's in the box. I'm happy with that. So I didn't buy an extra dock. I didn't buy the camera.
Oh, it comes with the dock. Okay.
Yeah, it comes with the dock. Yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the Switch, though they do spoil the Switch Lite, and that doesn't switch at all. But yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, my Switch is literally sitting here on the desk next to me. I have not turned it on in 4 years.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
See, you're not a handheld gamer. You're not, you're just not, and that's okay. That's okay.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
The only thing I use my Steam Deck for is Balatro.
Okay.
Fucking love that game. Love that game. I know. We don't have to go into this. It's fine.
I don't get it. But even then, I'm like, look at like a lot of the Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out for the Switch 2. I don't need another copy of that. But it's coming out and it should run great.
Dude, are you fucking like, there's no way that runs good on the Switch 2.
No, it does. Yeah, it's a launch title for the Switch 2. Yeah. And I've seen videos, like it runs like they do resolution scaling, but it runs it's like 60 frames.
I really can't imagine. Listen, you have more experience playing first person shooters with controllers than I do, but I can't. I can't see myself playing that game and all the inventory management and
It actually works really well on controller. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, happy for you.
Yeah.
So when will you get it?
June.
It's coming up.
Yeah. I think it's when does the Switch 2 come out? Let's see what it says. June 5th. So yeah. And Target's been a little coy. I think they're saying like you'll get it between June 5th and June 11th, but it's fine. I get it.
Is it coming to your house, or do you got to go pick it up?
Yeah, no, it's coming to my house. Yeah, I don't want to leave my house to.
I know you don't. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so keeping this going. Mm-hmm. Okay, Paul, we love to give advice on this podcast.
We do.
We love to give advice on this podcast. We also love spending other people's money. We love spending our own money.
True, we do. Yes.
Okay, so friend of the show, Mandy.
Okay.
Needs our advice.
Okay.
So her mom's birthday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs a new computer.
Okay.
Now, friend of the show, Mandy's going to listen to this. Okay. And I'm not going to say anything that I think is going to upset her.
Okay. ... Okay.
But Mandy's mom falls into a segment of the population that does not computer well.
Okay.
And you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Clicking on ads, accidental hacking, loaded up with malware, browser extensions out the ass. You know how this goes. Okay. So Mandy comes to me the other night and she goes, "Hey, I want to get my mom a new laptop," because I guess she has like a regular desktop still. She doesn't even have a laptop right now.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So her computer is in one part of the house. It'd be better if she could have it like in the part of the house that she spends time in, because she lives with my brother-in-law. It's like a mother-in-law suite type situation.
Okay.
So Mandy goes, "What would you get her?" And at this point in my life, when someone comes to me and says, "I need a laptop that can do email, Facebook, texting, all that other stuff," the correct answer is a MacBook Air.
Okay.
I think for most people, that is a fantastic computer that is, really, really powerful, super fast, will do all those things. Is any computer hack proof? No, but you get a lot less bullshit in the Mac ecosystem. The fact that she already has an iPhone, the fact that she could do iMessage on it and have her email both places, to me, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Okay.
And there are a couple other suggestions, but I'm really curious to hear your take, because there were a couple other suggestions that I made, but that's where my head initially went.
So if I was buying someone, and they already have an iPhone, which is great. That was going to be one of my questions. They already have an iPhone. Perfect. Good. They're in the Apple ecosystem. The MacBook Air, especially, and don't even think about it. Just buy the $999 one. It's a great MacBook Air.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Like we're not looking to spend a ton of money. They don't need the extra bangs and whistles.
No. For someone who is maybe less computer literate, I would maybe suggest an iPad with the keyboard.
Okay, so that was, by the way, my initial response to her. She was a little lukewarm on that. I thought the exact same thing, because now with those keyboards from Apple and the fact that you can also use a mouse, right?
Yeah. Well, and the keyboards, if you buy the Magic keyboards have a trackpad. Yeah. And the trackpad's great. It's great. I use it. I use mine quite a bit. Yeah.
That was my initial suggestion. And and honest to God, like if you buy, and I wouldn't recommend the smaller size iPad for this application. I would get the full size iPad.
Yeah, like maybe like 13-inch Air or something.
What sizes do they make?
Let's see. Hold on. Let's go to the iPad section. iPad. Because they're compare. They don't need
an iPad Pro. An iPad Air would be
fine. Yeah. So the iPad Air comes in 11 and 13.
Yeah, 13 is the big one.
The stock iPad, I believe, is just 11.
Okay.
Or it's whatever. It's 11-inch.
Yeah. Now, not for nothing. If you load up a 13-inch iPad Air with a keyboard and a Magic Mouse, you're damn close to an iPad Air, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or a MacBook Air, sorry.
Oh, 100%. Maybe possibly even a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. Let's buy 13-inch. I don't care the color. You do get less storage. The base storage is 128. Wi-Fi is probably good enough in the situation. No engraving, no pencil. The Magic keyboard is $319. So just the base iPad with a keyboard is $1,118. So it is more than
Yep.
the base MacBook Air.
Yep.
But the advantage of it is it's an iPad.
And that was also what I was saying. It's like, look, if your mom needs to sit down and write an email, great. Go over, attach the keyboard, use your mouse, sit at your desk, use it. But if your mom wants to go out to the living room and have her iPad to surf the web or browse Facebook or even just text from it, she can do that. Like,
she can pull it right off of there and use have the touch
yank
screen
it right
and
out.
Just yank it right out. Magnets. It's all magnets
out of there. Yeah, it's all magnets. Magnets all the way down.
Yep.
The only thing we really couldn't get over there is, like you said, it gets pricey. Both the MacBook Air and that option get pricey really quickly.
Absolutely.
Okay. So there was there was a third suggestion.
A third suggestion.
What's a third suggestion?
It's not like a Windows laptop, is it?
No, but you're warm.
A Chromebook?
Yes. Okay, but hold on.
Okay. Okay.
Devil's advocate.
There are nicer, like higher end Chromebooks that they're not made. They're made nicely. They're higher end. I'm just going to go to Micro Center right now and take a look at
the highest end one that Micro Center sells is they only sell Acer Chromebooks apparently.
Okay. I have been on Micro Center recently looking at laptops, but
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get my son a Windows machine for college. Okay, they have some.
It has to be Windows.
Yes. Yeah. Apparently, for his program, I guess they're saying like, we have problems with some of the software we use on Macs. So if you buy a Mac, it's your fucking problem. Basically strongly encouraging to buy them a PC. So I'll have to.
Disgusting.
I know. I'm so it's the but every laptop I have looked at in person, there's always something I'll look at immediately. It's like who the fuck put that font on those keys? Who did that? Who did that? Why are the keys round on the top and square on the bottom? That's hideous.
Yeah.
That Acer Chromebook Spin, it's got a little touchscreen on there too, a little stylus boy.
I mean, that seems to be the nicest one they sell. It's a Core i5. It's got 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing that won't work is like the nice thing about the Mac ecosystem really is messages, being able to send messages from your Mac or iPad.
Yep.
Yeah. Still,
Now, the nice thing about Micro Center is that if you actually go to their Apple section and go to MacBook Airs, they tend to sell them a little bit cheaper.
True.
So they do have some 13-inch MacBook Airs that are $900.
Okay. Oh yeah, they do have that base model for $899.
$899.
Yeah. Sky, you get all the colors.
Mandy's a teacher. She wouldn't have to pay sales tax on any of this stuff.
Oh, true. Okay.
So for me, it's like, yes, look, I personally think the iPad is the most correct and versatile answer. But if we're going to go into a laptop form factor, we're going to pay $500 some for a Chromebook or $900 for a MacBook Air. I think the extra $400 is justified. I truly do.
Yeah, I'm a big Apple fanboy, and I agree with you because the MacBook Air is great.
And I absolutely do not want her in a Windows computer. First of all, there's no need. There's no need for the extra hassle and the bloatware that comes on it. And like, and again, I really do think, and this isn't targeted at Mandy's mom. Mandy, don't hit me again. They put that bloatware on there. It's like, hey, Norton's about to expire. Enter your credit card info, right, to keep it working. And you scare people into buying shit. And it's just like,
you'd have to go onto that laptop ahead of time.
I would wipe the fuck out of it. I would put a clean
Yeah.
copy of Windows
Yeah.
on. I probably put Ubuntu on it. Like, honest to
Yeah.
God, like I would just tell her, like, click this icon for internet, like that,
Yeah.
and here, click this icon for your email. That's it.
Honestly,
Like,
with the MacBook Air, you could just hand it to her, new in the box. She's going to open it, sign into whatever account she's using for her iPhone,
and you're off to the races.
and then you're done. You're done.
Yeah. Same with the iPad, right? It's just
true. Yes, true, 100%.
To get that experience on there, it would require her, like we said, we would have to buy a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going to continue to push for the MacBook Air. But we'll see what Mandy's
a good choice. I think it's a good choice.
We're gonna see what Mandy's comfortable with.
Okay.
Yeah. Eric Darling never messaged me back.
What a punk ass. Mr. Data, you're a coward. Come on our show.
Yeah. All right. So since we have a little time, I'll throw an extra topic on here.
Okay, let's do it.
That we can talk about, because I need some advice, Paul.
Okay.
And there's a reason I'm going to ask you. And I think it'll become clear once we start talking about this.
Okay.
So earlier this week, I got hit with some pretty big feelings.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been a little depressed this week.
Oh no.
Normally I can keep this kind of shit in check, but and this is going to sound crazy, so you just got to bear with me.
Okay.
I had a dream this week.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I had too much fruit by the foot before bed or whatever, which is a real condition. And I had a dream that I was back in college.
Oh no.
And it was okay. First of all, it wasn't one of those dreams where it's like, oh no, I'm in intro to psych and it's midterm day and I didn't study. I didn't have one of those, right? I was just kind of like slowly jumping through different phases of my college experience. Like, I can remember when I moved into the dorm. Like, I remember I had a vivid, like, very lucid dream about that. And then I had a lucid dream about being an RA. And then I had another dream about graduation and people I used to hang out with. And it was just so friggin' surreal. Like, I mean, I've had weird dreams before, but this was just so surreal. And when I woke up the next day and I realized that I had that dream, it made me think about a lot of people that for 4 very important years of my life where I was really good friends with. Now, to put this in perspective, so like one of my best friends in college, her name was Natalie. We actually went to high school together, but we traveled in complete different circles. We were not friendly in high school at all, but like just on an off chance meeting, I ran into her and her roommate, who I also went to high school with, and I was a little more friendly with, named Sarah. And ever since that first day, like, we would have lunch together when we could. You know, when she lived in we got through the whole first year, made a lot of friends, hung out, you know, did whatever. Then sophomore year, she moved to a different dorm with Sarah and this other girl, Becky, who they became friends with. And then I got introduced to Becky and her boyfriend. Well, they weren't dating at the time. They started dating shortly after I met them, but that's all irrelevant. But like, what I'm trying to say is we sort of formed like this core group of friends. So it was Natalie, Sarah, Becky, Terry. I got to know this guy, Keith, and Keith and I got along really well because like we had a lot of like similar gaming interests and things like that. And then, you know, I ended up working in the computer lab and I got Keith a job in the computer lab. And then he and I made more friends in the computing lab, you know, employment ecosystem. And then when I became an RA, I made other friends that were residents of mine that I stayed in touch with after I got out of that, you know, after they left the dorm the following year. And I just remember, you know, college went by in a blur for most of it. And, you know, I had 2 jobs. I didn't have much of a social life, but when I did, I would go out with this core group of friends. Thursday night was our night. We would go to these shitty dive bars in Oakland, which, and listen, man, if you lived in Oakland, Pennsylvania, which is like the suburb of Pittsburgh where the University of Pittsburgh is, that place was a fucking dump. Like that place was that place. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even trying to be funny about it. Like it was a fucking dump. They were fucking tenements for children. Like we were literal children living in tenements in South Oakland. Okay. I mean, God, just fucking rat holes. Anyway, we would go out to these bars that were sort of scattered in South Oakland, and like I'm not even kidding. Like some of them had dirt floors. Like they were like half basements. Like
oh wow,
yeah, dude. Like bootleggers, where we would go to on Thursday nights. We would pull our money together. We would get a couple pitchers of beer. We'd have a fucking blast. We'd play darts. Like just fucking, and we'd get fucking blasted, and then I would show up to open the computing lab because they promoted me to management of all fucking things. So I had the keys to the place. So I'd showed up with a bottle of Gatorade and I wouldn't even leave my desk the first couple hours of work because I had to be there like at 8 a.m. on Fridays. Anyway, and then, we got to graduation and, for the first couple years, I fucking pieced out. I had interned in Ohio. I took a job in Ohio, and literally the day after I graduated, I loaded up my car and I went to Ohio. But, my parents still lived in Pennsylvania, so I would come home a fair amount, and I would still get to hang out with some of these people because a couple of them went to grad school, a couple of them stayed local to Pittsburgh, so we would still get together. Maybe not as large of a group, but we would still get together and we would still do stuff, and it was cool. And then just over the passage of time, like people just drift. It's you drift apart. I think that's just part of life. Becky and Terry got married. Like they were the first of the group to get married. And I remember that, that was like the first trip I ever took to like go somewhere other than vacation or work. And I remember that like I flew to Syria. They got married out in Ithaca, New York. Again, very, very vivid memories of this because it was such a cool experience. Flew into Syracuse, rented a car, which, I was under 25. So they gave me like the shittiest car imaginable.
Yeah.
Drove to Ithaca from Syracuse, and I didn't have a pot to piss in basically at that point in my life. So I could only afford one night of a hotel. So like I showed up the day of the wedding, went to the reception, I had to kind of leave early, which is a bummer. Everybody was pissed, but I'm like, my flight's early. Listen, this is all I could afford. Like this is as good as it gets. And like, again, that core group of friends was there, Natalie, Sarah, Jen was the other girl that was a roommate of theirs at one point. Keith was there, our other friend, Mike, and some other people that, were just sort of our friends. That's what we did. And then after that, I was the next one to get married. Right. So like I shortly after that, I met Mandy. We dated for a few years. We moved in together and then I got married. And a couple of those people came to my wedding, not all of them, because at that point, Becky and Terry, like they just sort of felt, they sort of just fell off the map. But, a couple of those friends came to my wedding. And then after that, Natalie got married. I went to her wedding. And then, over the years, like we just all sort of drifted apart, and some of these people aren't social media people. So it's not like I see them on Instagram or Facebook or anything. And just, in a blink of an eye, man, like 20 years just goes by. And like, after that dream, like I woke up and I was just really, really sad because it's like, the way that are you okay?
Yeah, that was not me. That was a very large boom in my house.
Okay. Huh. Did a cat fall down?
I don't know.
God, I'm getting to the sad part. You've got fucking shit. Your house is falling down.
Oh.
Anyway, like I woke up from that dream and I was just like super sad because I felt like, at least to me, like when I looked back on that time, those people helped me get through college. Like college was a really stressful time for me for a lot of reasons. It had a lot to do with what was going on in my personal life at the time with my parents divorcing and other stuff that was happening that I wasn't around for, but my brother was, and I felt like I could have been there more for him. And, college was also stressful for me because I was working 2 jobs to be able to afford it. Like I worked at the computer lab and I was an RA to offset like my housing costs. I had student loans and that added to the pressure for me to get out of school and get working immediately to like hit the ground running and have a career and build a life, And, when I look back at that time, those people meant so much to me. And I know that people grow and we change and people have families and they move away and we break contact, right?
Yeah.
So all that said, I made a conscientious effort this week to reach out to some of those people.
Okay.
Now, some of those people were really easy. Like my buddy Keith, he's on Facebook. He and I will message each other like once in a blue moon every few years, right? So like I sent him a note to check on him and he's doing okay,
Good.
He's still living, his, unfortunate thing, like he had some deaths in the family and stuff because it's like his mom was sick and some other stuff. But like stayed in touch with him a little bit, my friend Jen, who was one of the roommates of the girls that we were, all of our friend group, she got married to her sweetheart, who was like kind of like a second connection, I guess, like second degree connection of the group. They got married, they had a kid. I guess it didn't work out. Jen has her daughter, and she's on Facebook and Instagram. So like, she'll tell me happy birthday, and I'll tell her happy birthday. Like we'll do the typical Facebook things, but I feel like I have some kind of contact there. The rest of my friends, though, they're not social media people, because if you think back to that point in time of our lives, like Facebook wasn't a thing.
Right.
Like I remember I didn't get access to Facebook until well after I got out of college, like when they opened it up to people who weren't in college.
Yeah, that's when I got in as well. Yeah.
And even more like cell phones back then, like my Nokia could text, but it wasn't free.
Yeah.
And like we didn't text each other back then. Like we literally called people on the phone, like we would call our dorm, we would call our landlines. Like my dorm had a landline.
Yeah.
Their houses had landlines. They had cell phones, but cell phones were like a luxury. It was like a last resort. Like you're stuck somewhere or you're in between class and you have to call somebody to do something. That was just kind of how it was. So, the phone numbers that I have for these people are extinct. Like they're ancient. The email addresses I have for people, I don't know I have no idea how to get in touch with them. I don't know where these people live anymore, So, you start digging around and you start finding people, man, your house is falling apart. Are you okay?
I'm okay. It's all right. It's all right. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah.
So we start, I start investigating, and like, I do remember what some of these people's maiden names are. So I start trying to look them up, and, I did find who I think is Becky. And I sent them a DM on Facebook, and Natalie has never been a social media person. Like, I think she's one of those people that kind of read the tea leaves of how terrible social media was going to be. So like there's no finding her, right? She is a ghost. And I'm like trying to work with other people that know her cause like, again, we went to high school together, and I still, I'm a part of some of these like alumni groups from my high school that has like 30 out of 400 kids in it, but whatever. Trying to reach out to those people, and like you send some of these feelers out to what you think are people who can put you in contact with these people. And the part that this is a long way of saying, like, you put these feelers out there, and in the least creepy way possible. Let me be 100%
right.
clear.
Right? Yeah.
Like you could very easily be creepy. There are tools that could make you be creepy, but I'm not going to stoop to that level.
Mm-hmm.
You put those feelers out there, and you text and you reach out, and then you don't hear anything back.
Yeah.
And again, right, I have this awesome combination of insecurity and anxiety. And in a situation like this, they just feed each other. It's just constant feeding on it. Like, wow, maybe I didn't mean as much to these people as they meant to me. Or maybe they just want absolutely nothing to do with me. And listen, I get that. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I totally get that. And I know that people change. They're in different phases in their life. Maybe they have different stuff going on. Like, I'm willing to concede that. But it hurts, man, because I wasn't a super sociable dude in high school because I worked a lot. And then, like, I never went to high school football games. I mean, I went to prom once. Like, I didn't travel in a lot of social circles then. It was just me and my computer. That was it,
Right.
College was the first time I ever got to experience like the company of other people and enjoy other people. And, I have that now. Like, it's not like I don't have that today. I have people that I'm close with, and people that I rely on, and people that rely on me. And that feels good. And I like that.
Yeah.
But it just hurts that I can't seem to establish these connections that meant so much to me back then. And it just makes me feel like less of a person. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah. And it does. But like, you can't, like, you're you can't force these people to respond or feel, or for all you know, they also had some sort of horrible, like traumatic
You're right.
experience that they was
You're
in
right.
college, and someone reaching out to college sends their anxiety through the roof. It's like, no, I don't want to think about that. Even if they had good experience with you. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends from like college left or high school. I've kind of just drifted away from all of them as well. And yeah, I mean, I get that. Also, like, I'm really bad. I'm just bad at that. I'm bad.
And I am too. And I
Yeah, yeah,
100%, I'm bad at
yeah,
it too, right? Like, it's just one of
yeah,
those things.
yeah,
It's one of my many faults that I'm bad at that too. And
mm,
and again, that sort of feeds into the guilt a little bit. Should I have done more to keep that up?
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. You can't change the past, or can you? Can you change the past?
I mean, I
No.
think
Okay.
I
No.
don't know, maybe.
No, you can't. Oh, yeah. It just have to focus on the friends that you do have. Like that's what I try to do. It's just, like
And you know, Paul,
be appreciative of what I have. Yeah.
and I know, and that's the attitude I'm trying to take, right? Because I don't want it
Yeah.
to feel like I'm lacking in other ways. Because, like, man, I love spending this hour with you,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like, I
great.
feel this is a
Yeah.
great way for us to keep up and us to talk
Uh-huh.
about shit. Because I truly value our friendship, man. And part of
Yeah.
the reason I'm telling you all this is I don't ever want that to happen on purpose with us. Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love you, dude, and I
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Same,
I
same.
even miss just work. I seeing you at work every day.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is why I like this too, because like it gets, now that we don't work together, I know that, almost every week I have an hour that I set aside just to talk to my friend Drew. And it's
yeah,
great.
and it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And I have other people in my life like that too. And I guess this is my way of saying that I'm going to try. One of my goals from this point in my life forward is I'm going to try to make a conscious effort that I never have to experience what I'm experiencing right now, because ultimately all I really want to tell these people, even if we don't talk for another 20 years, is just like, hey, you were there for me at a really critical time in my life, and I don't know if I'd be here if it weren't for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the message I just want to tell them. I wish I could just look them in the eye, tell them that. And if that's the only thing I could say to them, that would be enough. That would be enough to know that it's like, hey, I just need to tell you this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, it's tough. Relationships are tough. Adulting is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even harder now because, both of my parents don't live in the town I grew up in. So I even have less an excuse to get back to the
Mm.
Pittsburgh area. Although that'll always be home to me. I still love the city of Pittsburgh. I loved my time at Pitt, even though it was tough at times. That whole area of the country will always be home to me. I mean, I've officially lived in Ohio now longer than any time I spent in Pennsylvania. So in a way,
Okay.
Ohio is kind of home now.
It's home now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, sorry to
Oh,
bring it down, but
no,
I
you're
had to
good.
talk about. I talked to Mandy about it too. I told her, and she was just like, and we talked about some other stuff too, because what I realized is that, because of choices and things that I've done and stuff like that, like, I have sort of like forcibly brought her along for that ride.
Right.
And I don't want her to have regrets either because of my stupid shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of heavy thoughts, a lot of heavy conversations this week.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm hoping
yeah.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that somehow I can. You're right. I can't force it. I'm just hoping that
No.
somehow I'm able to reconnect with these people. It would mean a lot.
Yeah.
And even and
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
like, he's going to hear this and he's going to think I'm crazy. But even people like Eric, like,
Yeah.
he's in New York. He's got his own life. He has a great fucking life. He does really cool stuff, and he's got really cool friends. And for me, I just feel like, I could probably do better at keeping up with him even.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know,
Well, I
man.
mean, just yeah. I mean, put in the effort with the friends you got from here out, and just focus on that. Like, don't the past is unfortunately the past. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You're right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
So what happens after we get done recording this podcast? Like, is it just create an audio file for you?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Cause I did a stupid like little test run just with me. And since when I set everything up, I said like individual tracks and all that stuff. So in theory, when I hit stop recording, there will be a set of MP3 files of our conversation that I can download off this website. So
Okay.
we'll find.
Well,
We'll find out. Yeah.
okay. I mean, I still did the recording with
Yep. Me
Audacity
too.
here.
Yep. Yep. I did the same thing too. I recorded my side. I recorded the audio coming out of my browser just in case. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know, and then next week I'll tell you what audio files I use. So yeah,
Awesome.
we'll
All
see.
right, buddy. Well, hey,
All
thanks
right.
for listening to me. And what
Hey,
do you
my
say we get out
pleasure.
of here?
Yeah. You know the deal. You can find everything, show notes, links, all the stuff we talked about at doingtheirbest.com. And hey, thanks for listening.